from techbuzzireland. Today we have the Jabra Evolve2 engineering to keep you agile. First thing I'll probably highlight in this Jabra, we've done a lot of these. This is probably more of your office-based environment rather than your walk around to the gym, etc. on that. 3 microphone technology, comfortable noise cancel isolation, the 37 hours wireless battery. I'm going to come back to that in a few moments, but that's something that's very good. 3 microphone technology, comfortable up 37, busy light when calls for the there, certified for Microsoft Teams. So I suppose the two things that caught my attention straight away is certified for Teams and the battery life. From Jabra straight away, as far as call quality etc. is concerned, we've used a lot of their products in the past. We can't fault in any situation the audio there etc. from there. What I actually get, this is actually what it comes with, and you get a carry case as well. Carry case is actually a nice leather. One thing you'll notice in here is you get a Bluetooth dongle type thing. Taken into the finer details themselves, what they've actually done is you can see the actually Jabra logo on it. Now, as a cheaper brand, a lot of people wouldn't bother putting that on there. They have taken the time, the effort, which I think is really nice, and you see that sometimes with a lot of the bigger brands, the more popular from there. So I'm just going to leave this Bluetooth dongle just slightly for aside for a moment, and we have our headset. Generally, down here we get ourselves, and this is just your charger. Plugs directly into your standard charger that you would have, or can be plugged into your laptop to give it charge. When you put it on charge, you get a little color there, and that could be plugged directly onto there. Looks nice, very good for a stationary item there, but this particular part here I would probably never use, which sounds a bit strange, because it is good, it is quality. With a full charge, as I mentioned earlier, you get 37 hours battery life, charging in 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Fast charge, 8 hours battery life in 15 minutes. So for a day's work, you put it in charge for 15 minutes. And what's my problem with this particular item is, works absolutely perfect, but old, trusted and reliable. I just got a standard brick charger, USB, plug it into here. Does the exact same job, which means I'm never down to if it's getting low battery. Now what I will say as well is, as a holder, as a stand to place somebody to put it, stand is great, but at 37 hours battery life, and I have used it, and I've constantly used it. The phone tells me how low the battery is, the phone tells me what situation it is, and it gives me an idea. It just doesn't run out. That's like a full week's work on calls, and I have used it on a variety of Teams calls throughout the weeks. So as far as the battery life on this, with the USB-C charging, unbelievable, brilliant. So that's one thing that's good, but I'm not going to use it simply because it's so good. So within the other thing I do like about this is, this is compared to another Jabra product. First thing you'll notice is the marketing. The marketing are using the exact same style, same information, which is obviously good. Same principles, same design. What also comes good is the fact that it uses the same app. So this particular one here, 62, and the same one as the 75T is the same app. This is the approach, the consistency approach makes my life a lot easier. So when you kind of think, what's the advantage of this? When I'm out and about, the last thing I want to be doing is carrying 2 chargers around, carrying 2 sets of things, 2 sets of apps there at the moment. So the developers, when they're going into this particular product, what they're really doing is good, they're going into properly setting the details up. So what I mean by that is, this information is there, they design it once and they can kind of go. So within the headset itself, you've got a variety. Software update, software settings, audio experience. So within the audio, I can pause it when it's not in motion. Call experience. Auto answer, do I want to auto answer calls when I move the boom? So when I move this up and down. Auto reject calls. Auto mute reminder tone. Slideshow. So all these different types of quality that I can actually have it set it out to my personalized idea. Handset assistance. So when the battery, going back to there, I have this one set for 8 hours. I can actually have it never start going to sleep mode. Voice guidance. So this is set every time I turn it on. It tells me a load of information. So if it gets annoying to tell me anything, I just turn it off or change the sound and the handset buttons. And register Jabra, we won't go down there. Find my Jabra languages. So I'll look for a couple of different languages there. Guides and manuals. So there's the quick start guide and there's a user manual. So have a quick look at the user guide. Going back to what I was showing you here. Within the box, it's got all the instructions. What the different functionalities, what the different buttons are doing, and the mute the microphone. And that's quite good. And you can read it. But then there's the interactive version of it. So the interactive version is music and volume. So obviously pause, play, audio up and down. And this is just instructions to tell me the volumes or just the volume up and down. Next track, restart track, previous track, busy light. And touch any of the buttons. It just gives me an idea of what's actually a multifunction button. And goes back up, Microsoft Teams. Headsets Microsoft Teams certified and can use, etc., etc. And what is quite handy is the mute and you want to call or a new mute. And that's some of the options. So in essence there as well, what we'll also do there is just go into the manual. The manual itself. So they've now given us very clear instructions about it. So they've put it on here on the manual, on the box. They've put it on the quick start guide. The one thing they haven't done is they haven't given us a quick start guide when you log on to it straight away. It does tell you, one of the first things you do is you download the Jabra directly software, Jabra Sound Plus. That's quite important just to have that software. So all the information is in one location. And rate your Jabra voice guides, etc. guides and manuals. Discovery, swipe to dismiss, share your opinion, new features sound, user manual, quick start guide. View technical information, rate this app, etc. And we can go there if we want, but I suppose we go back to the home button where a lot of people say, for your traditional conference calls, the audio quality, as long as people can hear you and it uses some of the passive noise cancelling, it'll actually make life a lot easier there. So we can adjust the music for ourselves. And we can change the settings to our specific idea. Music's preset. So when we have noise in the background, we can actually have it. The different types of pink noise, white noise, that just gives us an idea in the background of our noise. And we can edit the widget so we can set our own details. This allows us to personalize it. As I mentioned earlier on in the beginning with Jabra, it's the same for all the products. So it's the same principles apply. So it's quite good from that idea, so we can get an idea. And go back home. And as I said, we can adjust it. Straight away we can see the battery indicator there is 65%, and it gives an idea, a running total of what's actually happening. So that's what the app does, it gives an idea. And I suppose one thing we want to do then is we just connect it to the phone. It's just a standard Bluetooth with that particular app. Probably what we also want to do is directly go on to connecting it there itself onto a call. And for normal calls, for example, all you have to do is when you're connecting it, you dial, you make your normal calls. But if you want to connect it to laptop, we'll give you a demo of the laptop connection. To connect the laptop to your standard computer there, similar thing, you just plug it in directly, What you might notice, the blue light has just come on here. If it's the first time in the bottom right hand corner of the laptop, you'll actually see it connected coming up. This is one I've connected earlier. For normal use, we just go onto a YouTube video, for example, and here's one that we released an idea. I'm just going to put this on play. Let's put video. But a couple of things to be aware of. Volume up and volume down, pause button. We'll get to the mic in a few moments. Just for temporarily, we'll kind of go on that. So, just press play. Now, this is connected directly to the... We can hear it directly on the thing. So, if we can zoom in to the top right hand corner, it'll show the connection. So what we can do is we're controlling the audio directly on the laptop. What we're also doing is, when we've connected the middle button there, middle button will actually pause it, and you've the volume up and the volume down. So for normal YouTube video there, we can think chop and change, and then we can have an idea. And there's other features that we can do, and obviously the color of the lights will actually change on what we're actually doing. So this is just a random YouTube video that TechBuzz, so we don't have to worry about royalties, giving us an idea. So the volume can be controlled, fast pause, etc. This is not the primary purpose. Similar situation if you listen to your music on your phone, you can connect and you can make those changes as well. And one other thing to be aware of is, when you're starting to listen to the audio, first thing you'll actually notice is pads themselves. Lovely and soft, but it's actually like a flat pack rather than your over-the-ear cup, indicating that it's actually designed for the office type of environment. Okay, so as an office type environment, it's quite a thing, and you've got the microphone there. If you decide you can't use the Bluetooth dongle, the Wi-Fi dongle, etc. for browsing, a lot of companies will actually lock the USB drives, so these will not work directly plugging them in. So this should in theory plug into any particular computer and it'll work paired straight away to this. But if it's not, you can go directly into the laptop's computer and just do a search, connect, add a Bluetooth device, connect, and it'll pair directly to the device. So when you have it connected, you can throw away this particular thing for a variety of reasons, but in reality you do keep it. But it just means that if you go somewhere else, doesn't have the USB port available, you can use it, so it will connect as normal there. When you're using the likes of Teams, what you'll actually end up doing is going on, and one thing that we like about it as well is the microphone. So zooming down. So with the volume there, you can hear it muted, unmuted. So what it's doing is controlling it there as well. There is other features within it that you can actually lock it, restrict it, and there's other settings within the. So I suppose as a great feature with it is, on calls you don't have to be worrying about it. You've got good range too, that you can actually walk away. So you can actually walk to other areas to ensure that you've got the range. You don't need to have it wired connected all day particular time, because obviously this is wireless, but the connection, I've used this for probably about 60-70 hours in the last couple of weeks. I don't think I've had one call drop. Quality has been excellent. Can't fault the quality. It's fairly light, in the sense it's comfortable enough there. The iPad takes a bit more getting used to it, the left and the right. A couple of niggles for me would be, and this is just me personal niggles there, is if you're on the right-handed, it connects there. You cannot take it around. If you decide to go out for a walk, it's very intrusive to say the microphone is here. You can't actually hide the microphone there. So it's a very obviously, if you're going on the public transport, for example, is. I'm not sure. Are you as comfortable? It is, I do stress, designed for an office type environment. It works very, very well. Quality is very good. Nice. You will still hear if a car beeps its horn outside, you will hear it, but it's actually far more muffled than, say, a lot of other brands that you'd actually notice. Slight niggle for me as well is the material up here. It's like a little bit of a spike, so I'm not sure after a long wear would it actually wear out. Generally, as a rule, the Jabra products, which we've had for years, is very good. You can see the team's logo here. That's just a little niggle, but it is comfortable to wear after a lot of hours on there. Battery life, unbelievably good with the charger on-off button there. 2 gold contacts for the other charger. Sound quality, can't fault. Range, one thing is quite good is whatever way the software, using the same software. I've had other earphones which are on a call consistently drop out. You'd have to check in the morning to see if it's actually paired directly to the laptop. So I've tried it pairing it via normal Bluetooth. I've also tried pairing it using this. Both methods just to see if it's any different. On both occasions they work. Again, with Jabra, not cheap, but you're paying for quality, and you know once you get this particular there, it's going to work. It's consistent. I like the idea of there's a consistency in this approach, whether it's the marketing, whether it's the app, the design, the technology there itself. And as a standout feature, it's comfortable, it's using, and obviously wireless is the future. There's no question about that, and this just proves that the technology is there. Well ahead of the game in the USB-C. It's a no-brainer going down this stage. So to me, that's a real bonus there. It's comfortable. It has taken a few drops and knocks, not that I've been overly gently. You do get the bag coming with it, which is the Jabra logo on it, with a little thing. On a niggle, I would love to have seen this incorporated into a little cubby hole or something that we could walk around with it there when it's not in use, because I'll probably lose it if I don't keep it in one laptop. But as an overall thing, very, very good. And I suppose what do I expect? And I suppose the back of the cover tells you very clearly there, over 150 years experience. So that's the Jabra Evolve2 265. Excellent for use. We've had a lot of their products well used from there, and one thing you can always get is quality and superior audio quality there, and obviously the battery unbelievable with nice cancellation there and the microphone technology. Thank you for watching. Tech Buzz Ireland.